Is there a love update? Something might have happened while I was gone, but I don't know if I want to share because it's a little fucked up. I've like purposefully not brought it up because I still don't know how I feel about it. Ugh, okay, spill the damn tea. Y'all, I don't know if you're ready for this. It's juicy. It's a little tea. It's also like a little fucked up and a little not tea because it gets a little fucked up, I guess. But parts of it are juicy, I guess. So while my niece was here, like actually it was the day she landed, we went to an event at the library. It was a one-man circus. I was sitting in the back while they were watching this guy. He was like getting on a unicycle doing all this stuff. And while we're sitting there, I look over and I see this girl with really curly hair and she's got a really pretty butterfly clip in her hair. And I remember thinking, like, I don't know why, but I feel like we'd be good friends. Like, she just stuck out to me. She was with someone else. The event happens, we go to leave, and as we're walking down the stairs, I hear this girl behind me compliment my dress, and it's the curly-haired girl's friend. I'm wearing a skater dress from Torrid, and I thank her and I tell her that where I got it from, and I turn around and we briefly talk, and one of us mentions, I think it might have been me, that like, something about being down to make new friends or whatever, and so the friend asks for my phone number. She makes a group chat with the three of us and we start chatting and I'm like getting to know these people and I'm vibing, and then I realize that me and the curly haired girl have a lot in common, and so we're chit chatting and we're getting to know each other, and she has a boyfriend, and it seems like the friend didn't really like the boyfriend that much, but they hadn't actually officially met. And for the plot, there's an ex that the curly-haired girl, we'll call her Jay, had, and there was parts when we were getting to know each other where I realized that she was trauma dumping kind of hard. At one point, I had to say, hey, I know we're just getting to know each other and I don't want to upset you, but I'm getting really overwhelmed and I can't really handle I don't remember how I worded it, but the amount of trauma dumping that's happening. I was getting actively triggered because she was being very graphic about it. I know that I used to be like that when I was younger and I was less healed in my trauma. When I was getting to know someone, I kind of felt like I had to tell them all my trauma to see if they would accept me or not. So I had empathy for that and I understood that, but it was just getting to a point where I kind of had to set a boundary, and she respected it, and I was like, okay, cool, great, all right. She wasn't upset, it was totally fine. And then her friend like side messaged me and apologized, and I explained, I was like, hey, like I'm cool, like whatever. Well, at one point, I make a side remark to them in the group chat, and I go, well, if you know any guys who are into fat chicks, like let me know, like, and kind of laughing about it. And that's when Jay's friend was like, your brother would be perfect. And I was like, what? Then they had a different friend they knew were into like bigger chicks, and I was like, oh wow, okay. I wasn't, because I've made that joke when I meet new people occasionally. It's partially a joke, it's partially not a joke, like let's be real, because that would be a great way for me to meet somebody, is like through someone. So I start texting her brother for like a day, and things are communicative and like they're going well, and then he just gets really spotty with communication like the next day or two. I've only known the brother for a day. We haven't met in person. We were just getting to know each other. Like, we're both single, it's whatever. There was another guy that she told me about, and she ended up sending him my photos, and he immediately asked for my number and he immediately texted me. We didn't really talk much. That was the night before the day that I woke up, and they invited me to go hang out. I was like, okay, cool. When I go to hang out with them, it's Jay, her boyfriend, and the guy that I said, like, if you wanted to like hook me up with somebody, he was one of the guys. I normally am not the person that says yes to short-term plans like that. I remember I read the text and I got this huge burst of anxiety. I wanted to say no, because I was like, it was short notice and that's just how I am. And I was like, you know what, no, I'm going to make this happen. Like, you've been wanting to make friends, go on this hangout. I didn't even ask what we were gonna do. It was very abnormal behavior on my part. That is not how I normally operate. I was just like, yeah, let's go. I was like totally like not ready, so I was like rushing to shower and get ready. I was like still getting ready when they got here, and I felt so bad because I don't want them to think I'm like a high maintenance type person. But it only took me like an additional 5 minutes. We go to hang out at like a pool hall because they were talking about going to the beach, and I was like, I don't want to go to the beach. I don't have my beach chair with me. I don't want to be walking on sand. Like, I was like, I don't want to go to the beach. So we end up going to a pool hall. I can't get a read on this guy to save my fucking life. I can't tell if he's into me or not. They both seemed chill with me, but like the guy that she was supposed to be setting me up with, couldn't tell. Well, we go and we play pool, and I'm thinking things are like friendly, whatever. I had no expectations other than the possibility this guy may or may not be interested in me in some capacity. I was like trying to get to know him a little bit, but I was trying to be like subtle about it and not like super annoying and asking a million questions. Mind you, I ended up in a really bad situation because I did not think things through. When I say that I struggle in social situations, even though I might come across like I don't because I'm pretty articulate, I really do struggle to read social cues. And so when we would come up with plans what to do, one of the guys was like, well, you know, we could get a hotel room just so we have somewhere to hang out with AC. And I was like, oh yeah, like really? Like, you'd do that? And they were like, yeah, like we can just hang out. I thought they meant in like a friendship way. Like they made it sound like they will get a hotel room for like them and their friends to hang out. And like they said we were gonna go to the pool, and I was like, oh, well, I don't have my swimsuit. And they're like, okay, well, we'll go back to your house. You can pick up your swimsuit. I was like, okay, bet. So we go to my house. I get my swimsuit. We go to her house. We get her swimsuit. We go to the hotel. We get the hotel room. And I'm just thinking like, oh, cool, we're gonna like go to the pool, whatever. And we're hanging out. And then I'm like, okay, so like when are we going to the pool? And then suddenly no one wanted to go to the pool. And that's when I was like, what? I was so confused. Like, why did we go to my house? Why did we get our swimsuits? And then it wasn't until later that it clicked that the guys didn't have their swimsuits. But in the moment, I didn't put that together. And I was like, okay. The guys had been up all night and they hadn't slept. So the guy that she was wanting me to hook up with, or like that might want to hook up with me or whatever, I was thinking dating, by the way. But I'll get to that in a second. He went to go sleep on the pull-out couch because we were hanging out in like the double bed area. Then I ended up in a situation where I was really uncomfortable because I guess the real reason they got the hotel room was she and him wanted something to happen with me. And I didn't know that. And I was not into her boyfriend, even a little bit. And I don't know why she is into him. And I ended up in a situation where I felt like I couldn't say no. So that was uncomfortable and confusing because they never asked me. Like, she never asked anything beforehand. She just talked about like her past doing that kind of stuff. There was no conversation beforehand. And then events transpired. And I walked away from that experience really uncomfortable. But I was stranded there without my own transportation. And I was just like mad at myself that I was even in the situation to begin with, because I'm not making any kind of claims about anybody doing anything nefarious, because like that was just the way that I felt in the moment. I didn't say anything otherwise, but I was really uncomfortable. And I don't think he cared, to be honest. So yeah, later on I come to find out that this guy wasn't even interested in dating anybody. He just wanted to hook up, basically. I learned a bunch of stuff about her and this ex that she had mentioned. I think I can say this because it's true. He went to prison for charges related to CSA, basically. And I bring that up because they told me their version of events. That whole situation happened. About a week later, I get a text from the friend. And while I was hanging out with this girl, I was being told all this stuff about the friend because apparently I had accidentally landed in the middle of them having like a big quarrel between the two of them. So I heard her side, Jay's side, and then I talked to this friend. And I come to find out the reason this girl doesn't have social media, the reason why she and her had a huge falling out originally was when this ex went to prison and was caught doing these things. She didn't immediately cut him off. Like, she initially supported him. And she left that part of the story out when she told me this story. I also found out some other stuff. When I found that out and I found out a couple other things, I was like, I think I want to tell you something that I was scared to tell you. I basically told her what happened, and this friend freaked out. And actually what Jay did is the reason why this friend has actually like officially cut off this girl, because of how everything went down. The next day, when I'm going to call her H. When H reached out to me, she reached out to me to plan a hangout between me, her best friend, who happens to be another one of Jay's exes, a different ex, and then Jay's brother, the other guy that she was trying to set me up with. And when Jay found out, Jay was really pissed because the ex, she doesn't want this girl and her ex to be friends, basically. And so, because Jay was mad at H, Jay went to her brother and told her brother what happened to me, her version of what happened, which is not the reality. I was planning to tell the brother, like, when I met him and explain to him what happened. But the whole week passed and she didn't say anything to her brother until she was mad about H inviting me to hang out with them that didn't include her. So when that happened, I reached out to the brother and was just like, hey, I've been put in a bizarre fucking situation. I'm really sorry. Here's my version of events. Whether you believe me or not, whatever. He didn't respond to me. And I thought that was that because I heard from H. Basically, he was, like, done with the whole scenario. And, like, I was like, I don't blame him. Because the whole situation was fucked up. And, like, I had no loyalty to him. But apparently this is not the first time she's done this to her brother, by the way, because this girl's fucking crazy. Whew. And then some time passes, and recently the brother reached out to me again. He seemed to be okay with me. We chatted a little bit, but then I haven't heard from him in a while again. He's got his own stuff going on. I don't know how I feel about it. And this is just a lot of drama and a lot of mess. I kind of want to be friends with H because she was real with me and she was really supportive. And she was really upset about what happened. She was like, if you had told me that they invited you, I would have told you not to go. I was told some things. I accidentally fell into a situation with some not great people, and I was just kicking myself the whole time because I was like, try to make new friends, I try to do something fun, I try to meet new people, and I end up in this fuck ass situation. So Quinn, so you're saying you have a 28-year-old great nephew? I mean, if you want to email me after you talk to him, sure. QuirkyLoveRosee@gmail.com. Why not? That escalated quickly. Yeah, it really did. I'm not getting too into specifics. I'm just so mad at myself because, like, I should have seen it coming. My dad's on? Oh God, what? Dad, this is not the time for you to be here. You haven't been in my life for days. Oh my god. Oh. If you heard anything, no you didn't. That's our rule. Okay, Dad? If I'm talking about certain things, if you heard it, no you didn't. I should have asked if my parents were in chat before I started talking. That's on me. That's on me, dog. They knew I was hanging out with people. I just didn't really tell them the details of what happened. I told my mom that it didn't go well and I wouldn't be seeing them again because I'm not. Like, I'm never talking to those people again. I'm 33. Like, if I'm going out, I'm going out, you know? And like I said, it was a really uncomfortable situation. It wasn't what I intended at all. And what's even crazier is that is not the first time I've accidentally landed myself in a situation like that. It just, the last time, even though it was accidental, it wasn't a bad situation. I'm really bad about reading the fucking room. Wow, so the last few weeks we didn't see you were out gallivanting. It was so funny. While I was out living my life and I wasn't online, I was like, man, if they only knew what I was up to right now. Would you think the library at a kid-friendly event would be a wholesome place to meet friends? Nothing is sacred anymore. Fucking for real. You gotta stop staring at me like that. I'm not. What are you talking about? What you talking about? It was a one-time thing. It was like a one-night thing. Like, that's why when y'all were asking me about love life updates, I was like, well, something happened. So does your nephew, does he like to date bigger girls? Is that why you're saying that? Okay. Y'all are wildin'. I look very young. Thank you. Y'all, I think I need to go. I don't want to, but I think I need to.
Did I mention anything about my finger speed? What the fuck? Why are we talking about the speed of your fingers?